Okay, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone at Rural, and Shalom to you, Arkim, teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and in sincerity. This is the brother Caleb from the GMS London Forecasters Camp, coming back at you with another lesson to hopefully edify the Lord's elect. As always, I like to start by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites. We are the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. However, you are going to get Israelites that do look like the other nations, because the book of Numbers 1 and 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. But Israel as a people has been scattered amongst all people throughout our various captivities. So therefore, you're going to get Israelites that do look like the other nations. But as I said, Numbers 1 and 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So if your forefathers go back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like. Now, I'm going to delve into this topic right now because I was just doing some studying and I was reading Leviticus, the 24th chapter, and there's an account in here which goes into it because you've got a lot of people who have asked questions before, such as like when they come up to the camp, sometimes we might say to them, "Where are you from?" They might say, "Oh, I'm from England," and then we say, "But where is your father from?" And then they might turn around and say, "Oh, my father was from Ecuador, or my father was from the West Indies, like I don't know, what's that, Barbados, Jamaica, whatever." So basically, the reason why we ask that question is because your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers, not what your flesh may look like. Because, for example, you might have someone who has leprous skin, but as I said, their father might have been from Ecuador, meaning that they go back to one of the Northern Kingdom tribes. Same as if you was to say, like, I've seen guys who may look like Edomites, but then you come to find out that their father was from the West Indies or something like that. You know what I mean? So you can't really judge a book by its cover. You got to try the spirit by the spirit, and the longer the more you do this type of thing, the more you start to see, hang on a minute, that dude's got the spirit of a Hamite, or that dude's got the spirit of an Elamite, or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm going to read this passage in Leviticus 24 from the 10th verse on down, because it kind of goes into it. So let's get into it. It says, Leviticus 24 verse 10. And from verse 10. It says, Leviticus 24:10, and the son of an Israelitish woman. So basically, there was an Israelite woman who had a son, whose father was an Egyptian. So basically, this Israelite woman had a relationship with an Israelite man and brought forth a son for him. So this dude, I believe, if we interpret this correctly, this dude was a Hamite, but he was hanging out amongst the Israelites after he came out of Egypt because his mother was an Israelite. So it says, and the son of an Israelitish woman whose father was an Egyptian went out among the children of Israel, and the son of the Israelitish woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp. Now, this is the important thing, because salvation is only for the elect of the nation of Israel. No other nation's going to get salvation. You're not going to have Cush getting saved and being beamed up on a chariot. You're not going to get the Hamites being beamed up on chariots. You're not going to get the Moabites, which are the Chinese. You're not going to get Elam on the chariots, because salvation is only for the elect of the nation of Israel. And we're the only people who the covenants were given to, and the promises going back to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Furthermore, we're the only people that are covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. And that's the most important part, because the blood of Yahweh Shai that was shed on the cross was the price of the redemption for the elect. So Yahweh Shai paid that price and redeemed us unto our power Yahweh. So I say us, Lord willing, I'm of the hopeful elect. So if this guy was an Israelite, this guy that was striving with the Israelite man, it would say, and two Israelites strove together, but it doesn't say that. It says, and the son of an Israelitish woman whose father was an Egyptian. So that guy was uh, an Egyptian, Mizraim, which is the son of Ham, yeah, went out among the children of Israel. So this Hamite went out amongst the children of Israel, and the son of the Israelitish woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp, meaning that they had a fight or an argument or whatever. And it says, and the Israelitish woman's son, it didn't say, and the son of Israel, it said, and the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of Yahweh and cursed. And they brought him unto Moses, and his mother's name was Shelamith, the daughter of Dibri of the tribe of Dan. See, so basically, this guy, the son of the Egyptian, he wasn't. His lineage was determined by his forefathers. So he was a Hamite, an Egyptian, from Mizraim, whereas the woman was from the tribe of Dan. So if the son's father was from the tribe of Dan, he too would have been from the tribe of Dan and would have been an Israelite. But the scriptures don't say that. And it says, and they put him in ward, meaning they put him in a prison, so to speak. They held him, and that the mind of Yahweh might be showed unto them. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, bring forth him that curseth without the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let the congregation stone him. So this dude was made an example of, and there's a reason why this thing happened, because it was recorded in the scriptures for a reason, yeah? And it says, and thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, it doesn't say thou shalt speak unto the children of the world, or the children of Egypt, or the children of Edom. It says, and thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, because the Most High was dealing with us, saying, whosoever curseth his power shall bear his sin. And he that blasphemeth the name of Yahweh shall surely be put to death. Now this scripture does apply to the other nations too, because Esau has blasphemed the name of Yahweh, and he's going to be put to death too. But the fact of the matter is, I'm just dealing with this one character here, the son of the Egyptian. And it says, and he that blasphemeth the name of Yahweh shall surely be put to death, and all the congregation shall certainly stone him, as well as the stranger. Yep. And he that is born in the land, when he blasphemeth the name of Yahweh, shall be put to death. So that's that. And I'm going to jump into Numbers 1, verse 18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upwards by their polls. Now I want to get something. Let's get the pedigree, that word there. What does this word mean? It says an ancestral line, line of descent, lineage, ancestry. Definition 2, a genealogical table, chart, list, or record, especially of a purebred animal. So we're purebred Israelites. Distinguished, excellent, or pure ancestry, derivation, origin, or history. But the most important definition for pedigree is 1, an ancestral line, line of descent, lineage, ancestry. I'd like to get into the etymology of this, actually, if I can. Yeah. Pedigree, definition, early 15th century. Pedigree, genealogical table or chart, from Anglo-French, pied de grue, a variant of the Old French, pied de grue, foot of crane. Yeah, so on old manuscripts, descent was indicated by a forked sign resembling the branching lines of a genealogical chart. The sign also happened to look like a bird's footprint. Yeah. Yeah, meaning ancestral line. Let's get into the blue letter. Numbers 1 and 18 I want. Yeah, there we go. The word in the Hebrew is yalad.
Strong's H3205. Yalad. Yalad.
And this word means to bear, bring forth, beget, gender, travail. To bear, bring forth, of childbirth, to bring forth, to declare one's birth pedigree. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much what we want. So let's go back to what we were at. And it says Numbers 1:18, and they assembled the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees, meaning their genealogical chart, their lineage, their descent, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of their names, from 20 years old and upwards by their polls. So that answers the question. For any of you who are out there, you might be wondering, you know what, am I an Israelite or not? Well, it all depends on the lineage of your forefathers. Now, obviously, none of us have our ancestral records going back to the time of Abraham or back to the time of Noah. We don't have that. But as I said earlier on in the lesson, the Spirit beareth witness that we are the sons of the Most High. Let me get that precept. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, here we go. This is the precept. It's Romans 8 and verse 16. So let's go to Romans 8 and 16. There we go. It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Yeah? The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So if you're an Israelite, and if you're of the hopeful elect, these words are going to stir up your spirit in some way, shape, or form. And you're going to start doing what you can to seek out more knowledge of your Lord. If you're of an Israelite and of the hopeful elect, these words are going to stir up your spirit, and you're going to start taking actions. For example, you'll start watching more videos, you'll start reading the scriptures more, and you'll start to come out of the ways of the world. Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not our rest. You're going to come out of the ways of the world, and you're going to draw back to your true heritage and your first love, which was Yahweh, because the Spirit itself would bear witness that you are one of the children of the Most High, being an Israelite, which means he is a prince of the power, Yasharallah. So let's go back to Matthew, not Matthew's, the first chapter. Here we go. I'm going to read this, yeah? The book of the generations of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So for those of you who don't know who Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are, just for edification's sake, Yahweh is the true name of the God of the Bible. Not Yah, not Jah, not Yahweh, not not Jehovah. His name is Yahweh, yeah? And his son's name in Hebrew is Yahushai, which is the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You know, his name wasn't Jesus, his name wasn't Joshua, his name wasn't Yeshua, his name was Yahushai, which means he delivers, because he's the one who's going to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel from this final captivity. But he was also a dark-skinned man from the tribe of Judah with a white woolly afro and very dark skin. Not the leprous, blonde-haired, blue-eyed image you see posted up of Cesare Borgia, which goes back to Serapis Christus. But this is the point. Matthew 1:1. This is the book of the generation of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. So basically, it didn't say the son of Mary, the son of David, the son of Abraham. What you'll find is going to be no women's names listed in this genealogy, because the woman is not the progenitor. She just takes the seed of whatever man happens to lay with her and put his seed in her. Like we always use the analogy, if you've got pure ground, because the woman represents the ground, the earth. If you've got the earth, if you put an orange seed in it, you're going to get a strawberry, you're going to get strawberries growing up? No. If you put an orange seed in the ground, you're going to get an orange tree. If you put a lemon seed in the ground, you're going to get a lemon tree. You're not going to put a lemon seed in the ground and get an apple tree. No, you're going to get the seed is going to bring itself forth. Yeah. So the seed of a man is going to bring forth another seed of that nation. For example, if you're an Edomite and you have sex with a woman, you're going to bring forth an Edomite seed, because you are the seed of Esau. You're of the nation of Edom. Yeah. You cannot change your seed, just in the same way you cannot change your gender. These things are predestined, predetermined. You just got to deal with it. Like, for example, if you've got a man and he puts lipsticks on his face and wears high heel shoes and wears a dress and tries to call himself a woman, he's still not a woman, because his what do you call it, biology states that he has the genes of a man. He cannot change himself on that biological level. It's not in his power to do that. Yeah, he may castrate himself and take hormones to try and boost his estrogen and stuff, but fundamentally, at the base level, he is still a man. You see? So you can't change your gender and you can't change your nationality. These things, you just have to accept and deal with it, you know? So these are the generations of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Now I'm going to go through this because you're not going to see any women's names listed in this genealogy. It says Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob. See, it could have said Abraham begat Isaac, and what was Isaac's name's wife? Was it Rebecca? It could have said Abraham begat Isaac, and Rebecca begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. It doesn't say that though. It says Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren, meaning the 12 sons of Israel, 12 tribes. And Judas begat Phares, and Zara of Thamar, and Phares begat Estrom, and Estrom begat Aram, and Aram begat Aminadab, and Aminadab begat Nason, and Nason begat Salom, and Salmon begat Boaz of Rachab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth. See, there you go. I believe Ruth was David's grandmother, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And Obed begat Jesse. Yeah, she was, because that's Jesse, David's father. And Jesse begat David. Now, let me read that again. And Salmon begat Boaz, and Rahab, and Boaz begat Obed. You see, so Boaz was the father of Obed, and it says of Ruth just to give that connection, so that we know it's the same Ruth that was spoken of in the book of Ruth. But it didn't say that Robed begat. So it doesn't say that Ruth begat Salakia. Let me slow down, because this is I don't want to confuse people, yeah? The man begat the son, yeah? So it says Salmon begat. Actually, let me get into the blue letter on this. Hang on. Where we at? Matthew 1:4. Okay, let's get the blue letter on this. Right, let's get begat. Right, so the word for beget is genial, which is interesting. Look at that.
Strong's G 1080. Ganao. Ganao.
Ganao. Okay, so let's get that. Ganao, right? There you go. Cold straight up. The word is Strong's G 1080. Ganao, yeah?
Strong's G 1080. Ganao. Ganao.
Right? And what does it mean? Outline of biblical usage of men who fathered children, to be born, to be begotten, of women giving birth to children. It says to engender, to cause, to arise, to excite. There you go. To engender, to cause, to arise, excite. And who does that? The man does that through inputting his seed, his spirit into the woman, and the woman brings forth the seed of that man. Now, of women giving birth to children. But women don't. If you look at the way the Bible speaks, it doesn't say the woman begat. She says she brought forth of. Let's go back to it. It says, verse 5, and Salmon begat Boaz of Rahab. And Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, meaning that he put his seed into Ruth. And Obed begat Jesse. And Jesse begats David the king, and David the king begat Solomon, the son of he that had been the wife of Urias. See, there you go. That would have been Bathsheba. So it doesn't say, and Jesse begat David the king, and David begat Solomon. Sorry, let me say it again. Got to slow down. It doesn't say, and Jesse begat David the king, and Bathsheba begat Solomon. It doesn't say that. It says, and Jesse begat David the king, and David begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Urias. So the wife of Urias was Bathsheba, whom King David had committed adultery with. And if you remember the account, the first child that was brought forth from that union was destroyed by Yahweh, because it was brought out of adultery, and it would have been a wicked seed. So the child was put to death. And then after that, King David received mercy from Yahweh, and then he brought forth King Solomon of Bathsheba. And it says, and Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abia, and Abia begat Asa, and Asa begat Jehoshaphat, and Jehoshaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Ozias, and Ozias begat Jotham, and Jotham begat Ahaz, and Ahaz begat Ezekias, and Ezekias begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Amon, and Abon begat Josias. See, these are all men's names. And Josias begat Jehonas, and his brethren about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jehonias begat Salathiel, and Salathiel begat Zorobabel, and Zorobabel begat Abiud, and Abiud begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor. And Azor begot Sadok, and Sadok begat Achim, and Achim begat Eliud. And Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua, who is called Hamashiach. So let me break that down. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua. It doesn't say, and Jacob begat Joseph, and Mary begat Yahushua. See what I'm saying? Mary just carried the seed of Joseph, which was the seed of King David, from the line, the lineage that Yahushua came from. So what I'm trying to say to you is that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. See, this is the account of Yahushua's lineage. We don't have the records to say that, like I came from this person, that person, right back to Abraham. No, but as I said, Romans 8 and 16, read it again. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Because if you're an Israelite, there's certain things you're going to feel in your spirit. For example, me personally, speaking of myself, I'm very spiritually sensitive to certain things. For example, in our law, there are certain things that can make a man unclean and make him clean, that can make a man clean and unclean. And I've always felt in my spirit, even before I knew the truth, that there's certain things that, you know what, man, that's kind of dirty, man. I don't want to be doing that because it's going to defile me a bit if I do that. That's just me personally. Every different brother has got a different measure of the spirit. But, the more you get into this truth, the more you come back to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you'll realize that, hang on a minute, there's certain things that just don't drive with your spirit, and there's certain things that the Bible outlines that are going to resonate with your spirit. For example, another case, like I've always felt that, like if you're eating meat, it should be thoroughly cooked. You don't want to be eating no rare steaks with blood dripping out on the plate and stuff like that, and you don't want to be eating no black pudding or any other kind of madness. Yeah, that's just me and my spirit. I've always thought, nah, man, you should be eating this. I was brought up as well. We cook our food properly. If you're cooking lamb, you cook it till it's pretty much falling off the bone. Like with any meat, you don't be eating no rare fucking raw meat with blood in it. And what do the scriptures say? You shouldn't eat blood. Let me get that. Genesis 9. And this is before I knew the truth. And I'm saying this just to illustrate the point that if you're an Israelite, there's certain things that are going to be off to you, and you're going to know it in the back of your mind. Okay, maybe when you was in the world, you was doing it because you didn't really realize, but somewhere deep down inside in the back of your mind, you're going to be thinking, nah, man, there's something not right about this, or anything. I'm just saying the things which were red flags to me personally, but every brother's going to be different, Genesis 9 and verse 4, but the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. You're not supposed to eat blood. Let me read up into it to give you some context. Genesis 9 and verse 1. And the Most High blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast on the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb I have given you all things. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. Now, obviously, some simpleton could read that and say, oh, well, the Most High just said you can eat everything on the earth. No, there's dietary laws. Again, when you're spiritual, you'll get into this stuff if you're an Israelite. And the dietary laws state that you shouldn't be eating pork, you shouldn't be eating rabbits, you shouldn't be eating mice, you shouldn't be eating shrimps, crabs, lobsters, squids, octopus, all this kind of things. You're only supposed, of the sea creatures, you're only supposed to eat fish with scales. Now, this was all written down in, I believe, Leviticus. The dietary laws are in Leviticus, I believe. But before these laws were written, they were oral. So before the laws were written down at Mount Sinai and given unto Moses, we knew these things because these laws were oral. But yet we still went off before because of, the nature of sin, and we lost our way once Eve transgressed and caused Adam to transgress, so we started going off. But the fact of the matter is that now, if you're an Israelite in this day and age, we're living in 2021 now, and you hear this word, and if you're of the hopeful elect, it's going to stir you up in some way, shape, or form, and you're going to start coming back unto your culture and your heritage, and unto your power, which is your God, which is Yahweh, and Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to end this lesson here. Lord willing, it's been edifying. The fact of the matter, or the point I'm trying to make, is that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So if your forefathers in Edomite, well, that's your lot, and your lot is going to be slavery, 1,000 years of slavery and then destruction. If your forefathers were heathens, meaning any of the other 16 nations, you're going to go into 1,000 years of slavery. But at the end of that slavery, you're going to get your land back, and you're going to be able to live a peaceful and happy life, and you're going to love living under our laws, the laws of the Bible, because you're going to see how righteous they are. If you're an Israelite, all I can say to you is it would behoove you to draw back to your power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, while you still have time, because the doors of repentance are rapidly closing, and you don't want to be left out, because if you get left out, you're going to be one of the 2/3, the 66.6%, that is fated for destruction, thermonuclear destruction, and death when Yahushua returns, because you're not going to be covered by the blood of Yahushua's sacrifice, which he made 2,000 years ago on the cross at Golgotha. Now, with that being said, even if you do die, if you're an Israelite, you are going to come back in your right mind in the kingdom, but it will be a very grievous death, and not a death that anybody would want to endure. So with that, giving all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom to Akim, teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and in sincerity. And on to the next one, Lord willing. Shalom.